Hello, this is Al Modine with another MixALogy course. I don't have an assistant today, so I'm setting this up kind of on my own. I don't have a remote, so I apologize for that. But just this whole MixALogy thing, it's not just based on making liquor drinks and stuff like that. It's also cooking with liquor. Anything that pretty much has to deal with alcohol, I try to incorporate in everything I'll do. So first off, I want to go ahead and let you know that tomorrow I'm going to have a party at my work for some odd reason. It's a holiday party, a holiday season party, and I'm supposed to make a course. The course I'm going to make for them tomorrow is pretty much a baked apple. But just like anything else in MixALogy, it's going to be a baked apple with a lot of liquor in it, so it's going to have a little kick to it. It tastes very good. Right now, what you see in front of me is I got a wooden spoon so I can stir and mix the ingredients. Hefty spoon just for, I guess, adding certain things. This is going to be my waste bowl. This is actually a measuring cup for that pharmacists use to measure out medicine, I guess it is. And it actually just pretty much is a shot glass that tells you different measurements, so that's what that is. And we'll use this handy dandy device. You can get these in most home places, kitchen places. It's pretty much an apple core, I guess, and it slices apple into several pieces. And I'm going to use that to cut every single one of these apples because how it makes it easy. And other than that, I'm going to go ahead and start. And one of my friends actually said he saw a couple of my videos and he's talking about how he wants special guest appearances or whatnot. And I was like, well, if you want to do it, I don't mind doing it if you want to do that. But it's up to you. So if you do want to do that, I'm going to go ahead and you got my webpage and all that stuff. You can subscribe, you can ask me, and I'll probably find guests around here. So I'm going to go ahead and start off, first off with cutting all these apples. As you can see how easy that was, is just simply put it on, push down. Oh, and takes a little force. You got your pieces. Separate the core. And take your apple slices and just put it in this, which is going to be my giant mixing bowl. The first stuff I'm going to add to this is going to be the liquid ingredients, and then it's going to be followed by the dry ingredients. The cool thing about most fruits is that when you keep them in alcohol for a period of time, they absorb the alcohol. And that's what my aim is today. So I'm actually not going to show you the rest of this, how I cook it, but I'll just let you know. Oven's going to be set at about 350 and we'll cook it for about 5-10 minutes, depending on how great the cooking is, and see how well they get done or how fast they get done. And take it out and take it to my work after I cook it. I'm going to use where they're sitting at right now. I'm going to use those as a dish so I can heat it up and whatnot. I'm going to go ahead, finish these out. And the different liquors we're going to use today is going to be, well, peach schnapps, an apple liqueur, a honey liqueur, a blueberry vodka, some vanilla extract, and brandy. And that's pretty much the alcohol I'm going to use. All the other ingredients that are pretty much in this is going to be a little bit of salt, some cinnamon, nutmeg, cloves, different stuff that gives it that flavor. Orange juice is actually going to be added in there. But let me go ahead and finish these out, and we're about ready to start doing our liquids. Alright, done with that, put it to the side, and here we go. So I'm going to start out with the liquor first. First off, I'm going to take the apple liqueur. This is actually a really strong apple liqueur. It is pretty much 100 proof. And you want to take about a shot of that and add it in. And then we're going to go ahead and do a shot of brandy. continue on. Next ingredient is going to be the peach schnapps. I'm not going to use a lot more peach schnapps. I'm going to probably just use a half a shot because I really want the apple flavor more so than anything else. But these other liqueurs that I'm adding to it is going to add to the sweetness of the entire dish. So that's why I'm adding this. So that was the peach. This is the blueberry. Another half of a shot of that. As you can see, it's coating while I'm pouring these on there. We're going to stir it up after I pour the rest of these liquid ingredients in there. Finally, the honey liqueur. Now the honey liqueur is really strong. I don't want to take it. This is actually a bourbon. I'm going to put probably about a quarter of a shot in it. It's just going to give it a little bit of flavor. And I'm going to add real honey anyways. So there's about a quarter of that. You're not done yet with the liquids. I got maybe 4 ounces. You can probably do 6 or something ounces of orange juice. And add that into it. The acid of the orange juice is actually going to help stop the oxidation of the apples a little bit, not a whole lot, because I'm actually going to let these rest overnight in the liquor, in the liquid mixture and whatnot, so that they can absorb this flavor to the max. Oh yeah, that's smelling good. Alrighty. Now we're going to start adding the dry ingredients after we do a little bit of this vanilla. Not a whole lot. You want probably maybe a teaspoon or so. This is actually 35% alcohol. So we're going to probably do a little bit of a teaspoon. And that vanilla is going to give it a little more sweetness. Alright. So again, mix it up. Make sure you got all that incorporated now, because now we add that vanilla. Now what I want to do is I want to add all this to these pans tomorrow morning, cook it in the oven, let it cool down as best I can before I go to work, and take it all together and work. Cool thing about this, you can't really bring alcohol to these parties because it's at work. However, if you're cooking with alcohol, it's not your fault if it's in there. It gives it the flavor. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and go with the dry ingredients. I'm going to do a little bit of salt. About a teaspoon of salt. That's going to add more flavor to the apples. We're going to go ahead and hit some brown sugar. I'm going to do a hefty tablespoon, maybe 2 tablespoons of that. Some light brown sugar. Probably about 1 tablespoon of that. Maybe a little more. And plain old white sugar cane. And that's another about tablespoon. And we'll do about half a tablespoon of that. Alright, with those dry ingredients in there, I'm going to go ahead and mix it up a little bit. And then all those apples get coated with all this sweetness. I'm going to go ahead and move it over here so you can really see what I'm doing. And then after tomorrow, when I actually put these in to cook, to keep the good look of it, I'm going to add more brown sugar and whatnot just to give it a good look. I'm going to get some cranberries right now. I'm going to do about half a cup of cranberries. And the reason why we do this cranberries is going to give it that festive look. So you can actually do anything like raisins or blueberries, any kind of dried up fruit. And I'm going to go ahead and drop that in there and make that look pretty. Okay. We're going to go ahead and mix that in there too now. So we can get this raisins hydrated with, or well, I guess these are cranberries, hydrated up with some of that alcohol as well. Alright, that's actually starting to smell real good. Now we're going to go ahead and add cinnamon, probably 2 tablespoons of cinnamon. nutmeg. Actually, these are cloves. Nutmeg's next. Remember, with cloves, you don't want to keep them in there. You want people to make sure you have them. You want to find them, but they give a good flavor. But nobody wants to bite into a clove. And now some ground nutmeg. About a tablespoon of that. We're going to go ahead and mix that all together. Then my final ingredient is going to be the honey. And with that honey, I'm going to go ahead and not put a lot in, probably about another tablespoon of that, so we can just keep that sweetness in it. And then I'm going to add all these into a gallon Ziploc bag, whatever, storage bag I guess it best be called, and let it sit overnight so it can absorb all this alcohol. I'm going to go ahead and grab a little bit of honey. I got this honey at the local farmer's market, so somebody around here made it. It's pretty good. I've used it in sweetening my teas and whatnot. It's definitely a good flavor. And then one more ingredient, which I've neglected, but it also adds a little bit more flavor to it, and it helps with the coating process and all that, is going to be some melted butter. I've had this melted butter over here. I had to wait for it to melt anyway, so that's why I didn't incorporate it right away. And I've had it over here sitting for a little bit. Keep them warm. I'm going to go ahead and take this butter, pour that all in there. Oh yeah. Liquid goodness, there you go. Alright. One more final stir. Now that flavor is combining and holding on to each other, and it's going to absorb all this stuff within the fruit. And like I said, tomorrow I'm going to add some more of brown sugar and one light brown sugar to give it that good look before I give it to somebody, and some more craisins that haven't been cooked, or cranberries that haven't been cooked, so that red vibrant comes out and makes it look even more festive, I guess would be the best word for it. And actually that's pretty much it for this. I'm going to go ahead and dump it in here. Before I dump that in here, I'm going to go ahead and add a cinnamon stick, so we get some of that pure cinnamon from this. There you go. Then we go ahead and take this over to the sink so I don't go ahead and pour it everywhere. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Really you want to get that liquid in first off. Open up your bag and then you can get the apples in. The apples and the cranberries. Alright, take your bag. There you go. And get as much air out as possible. Seal it down a little bit more and just kind of knead it so all the fruit gets coated with this liquor. Alright, after I'm done with this, I'm going to go ahead, look at that, see? That's all coated now, looking good. I'm going to go ahead and put that in the fridge after I shut off the video, of course. And I'm glad that you stayed and watched. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave any comments that you want. You can also find these videos on Malevolent Albatross. It's a group that I made on Facebook, so if you want to check that out, you can always do that. And that group actually shows that not only me making drinks and food, but it's also going to show some other stuff that I've made just randomly because I'm kind of a random person. And if you're interested in any of that, or you want to join my contest, please feel free. I will go ahead and put this up, and I appreciate your time, and I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.